Hello and welcome to the Common Corner. As you might notice, something is very different from the past maybe 7 months videos. Ever since my table was broken by my sister, it was an accident. I have been, dealing with a crescent moon shaped table, which I've actually fell quite in love with. But I had a friend over a few days ago, and she said, "Why don't you just turn the table the other way around?" And I guess I haven't thought about it because the edge of the table, the broken edge, is still quite sharp. However, today I'm going to need a bit more space than I usually have. I'll need to have some space to put my kind of utensils in. Hence, I tried turning it the other way around, and despite the kind of slightly sharp edge of the table, I'm going to attempt working with the table flipped the other way around than you usually see it. So to you, it might very much look like I have a new and fixed table. That is not the case. Once I move it a little bit that way, you can see it's still very much broken. Okay, after these initial maneuvers, I'm ready to pay attention to what we see here on the table. This is me trying to get ready to basically do what I have been waiting to do ever since I got my 2025 Hobonichi Cousin Avec books. As you might know, I have been working in a Hobonichi Cousin Avec for 1.5 years now, exactly, I would say. And I always enjoy covering up the blue and the kind of lime green with something that's a bit more like this kind of cardstock or paper bags or something like this. I believe that this piece here that I've now chosen for today was from, oh yes, it was actually from a store I went to in Hong Kong where they packaged my like glassware or my cups. The cup which is actually on the thumbnail of my stationery haul from Hong Kong, the second part. That cup was packaged in this paper, so hence it's quite a bit wrinkly. And I thought that this would fit the best for what I'm looking for this upcoming year. Okay, um, let me just show you the current cover that I have. There we go. And I think with both of the covers from this year, I have put a sticker by Yoshitomo Nara on the cover and then written Hobonichi Techo on the side. And I really want to continue with this like series, I guess. At the end, once this book is like the cover of this book is also finished, I'm going to show you all three of them side by side. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. I really enjoy making things into collections. Um, in like all of my kind of sticker books or my travelers inserts, I always have that all of books is a common collection of something. So this is a common collection of stickers. One of the booklets is a common collection of extra ephemera. One of them is a commonplace book, so a common collection of commonplace entries. I like making them common collections. That's also where the name of this channel originates from. So let's organize all of this on the table first. Okay. So yeah, as I mentioned, I'm using this spare scrap to make the cover. As you can see, it's not quite the size that it should be, and it won't quite even fit on the other side. So I'm gonna have to improvise a little bit. One thing that I do want to do is that, once again, I'm using artwork by Yoshitomo Nara. This is actually from a big sticker book that I got from the Tate Modern Museum in London. Um, it's a modern museum of art, and they had a sticker book that had stickers from, I want to say it was from maybe 50 different artists. I will have to double check that though. But Yoshitomo Nara was one of them. And this is a sticker that ever since I saw it, I was like, I want this to go on the cover of my Avec that starts from January. It's just quite a wintry sticker, but also somehow uh, like it will fit well once we move from winter into spring. Mm, and then finally into summer. But the book starts in the winter time, and I feel like because of that, with the little house and the tree, but it also looks like there's snow, it'll be appropriate for the winter time. Yeah, I hope I'll still like it when summer comes. But I know that in summertime, I'm always excited to look forward to autumn time. So summer has never been like a very special time of year for me. It's a time of rest for sure, because that's when I'm off from university. But like, I don't necessarily need to have a remembering token of summer on the front cover of my Avec, you know? Anyway, so I'm very excited for this. What I do want to do though, because I feel like these colors clash a little bit, is that I'm going to put this in the middle of it and then have it look something like this. And of course, these are going to be covered up completely. Excuse me for me clearing my throat continuously. But why I'm making this into a video is because a lot of people, I think, well, I've had the conversation with a lot of people where they usually decorate the cover directly with like stickers, and some people really enjoy the way that the cover looks like. They like the color, is what I'm trying to say. But other people don't really love the color that much. So, but they're not sure how they should cover it, so they just tend to put some kind of paper on top of it. Maybe put a bit of tape on underneath it to like adhere it on, and then put a clear cover on top of it. However, I quite like permanence, so I want to show how exactly I do it in the way that I'm actually gluing this on top of the cover while I still maintain the spine. Okay, so it's not the easiest thing ever, but I want to show you how to do it. This paper that I'm using here is just the writing paper from Midori. It's just letter paper from Midori. It's just one of their like notepads, but I'm going to put that to the side now. And then I was going through one of my art magazines, actually, a fashion magazine called Marfa Journal, and they had some really cool pieces that I feel like I want to use when I'm decorating the inside of my Avec. Maybe not the outside, but the inside of it. So I also wanted to show those quickly. And then I have this bag full of paper scraps, which I might need to dive into in case this is not going to enclose the Avec in full. Okay, we can also put this sticker, maybe I'll just put it to the side for a little bit. So what I've usually always done is that I am going to trace the book on top of this paper. that will give me kind of the rough, correct measurements and make sure that I'm going to be cutting in a straight line as well. Of course, then I'm going to leave out enough space for the spine. And that is always the most difficult part, is to like cut straight enough so that the spine is like, you know, well, you'll see in a little bit what the challenge is usually. Okay. So now comes the challenge of cutting in quite a straight line. Some of this video will definitely be sped up because a lot of it does take quite a lot of precision and I need to focus on it without distracting myself by talking. So I'm just going to be speeding up a few of the clips. Okay, so now I have it roughly cut out. I'm definitely going to be using this slip on the other side to cover it up, but I think the back side of the Hobonichi is going to be quite patchy, like patched up using different kind of craft paper, but that's quite okay. So I left a little bit of leeway there at the bottom because I just want to make sure that it lines up just perfectly, which it does. I'm very happy with that. And it does go a little bit over. I'm also curious which side I would want to use. I realized that the side that I was initially thinking about using, so this side has a few scuff marks on it. I would want to go with this side, but it does have a bit of the black marker there. Yeah, so that does line up pretty perfectly there, which is quite satisfying always to see. I might just clean it up just a little bit And to be quite honest, none of the other sides really matter because they always will run a little bit over. So the only side that really matters to be like completely straight is this side. But now I have indeed cut it a bit wobbly just now. I was thinking about, however, using a bit of this tape to like run on the side here. I'm gonna show you why. So when I put this tape on the side here, I can actually layer this a little bit away from the dark spine. So if it's a bit wobbly, it's not gonna go on top of this, but it's gonna go on top of this. Well, that is quite see-through though, but I could actually put it, well, let's see. Let's do one round of it first. Okay. Because the brown underneath it is like making it look like the spine is really neatly done, if that makes sense. So you can actually notice that here it deviates a bit away from the dark brown spine, but underneath is the brown tape, so you can't really see it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Okay, so now all that's left is to glue this on top of here. And then we're gonna have to trim the edges like afterwards, but that will not be a problem generally. Just gonna start smoothing it down. Oopsie daisies. And basically the thing here is that even if you make a mistake, there's always something you can do to like make up for it, or like to cover up the quote unquote mistake. As Bob Ross would say, happy accident only. Now I see that there's a little bit of that kind of line there, but that's okay. It comes from the tape that's underneath. I don't really mind it. I do really enjoy the texture of the paper because it's been so crinkled previously. Oh, I really like that. Okay, and next comes the task of putting this down. Actually, there seems to be a perfect cut if I cut along that line there. Okay. Oh, that wasn't quite straight. Let's see again. That's good enough for me, I think. And now, if as you can see, it has a bit of a quite a perfect fit, actually. And I want to put it a bit lower than the midpoint. And right there it actually says Midori, which is quite fun. Because the kind of other notebooks that I do have in my life are Traveler's Company books, and they use the Midori paper, I think. I might be a bit uneducated on this, but if I remember correctly. Okay, and now let's just test it out. If we put this in here, and then I'm going to have this about here, and then we can write the Hobonichi Avec in Japanese characters there. I think that should look good enough. Okay, it still looks a bit rough because we need to trim the edges and stuff. And actually what I usually do is that I fold them on the other side. So, okay. I like that. Okay, so next step is folding over these sides as much as I possibly can, or I actually might have to trim some of them. But I think at least this side I'm going to be folding over. And it's fine if it's a little bit rough, because now what we're going to do is use my favorite ever tape. This is the Muji masking tape, and we are going to cover up or like run this on the sides here. And I really enjoy the kind of framing effect that it gives to the book. It is always a bit nerve-wracking to do this We don't need this one anymore. We needed another round of the masking tape to make it stick down. My goodness, the chaos is getting wilder. I'm realizing that this, even though I have now a bit of extra space on the other side of the table, which I usually kind of don't really utilize because it's like the round bit is usually facing me. But even if I have a bit of extra space, doing this kind of project, crafting project, is still slightly challenging. I'm now doing something spontaneous and dangerous where I just had the idea that I'm just going to cover up the edges like this. Actually, I don't know if that looks good. Actually, I might just cut the tape a little bit in half so it's a bit thinner. So that it just secures the edges a little bit. I haven't done this before though, but this way you can just fold them over as so. Okay, I like that. I like how that looks. Honestly, it's me and this tape against the world. Me and this tape against the world. It seems that they're starting to lift up a little bit there as well. So I'm going to now double secure it with some really sticky tape. Really sticky tape. Okay, so I'm just going to put it neatly on this side. There we go. And here we go. Okay. So as you might know, this is the part 1 of Changing Books series. I like to make 3 of them all together so that it gives me kind of enough time to get used to and acquainted with this new book. I'm always very emotionally attached to my book, so it requires quite a lot of time for me to kind of make well, first of all, to make friends with the next one. And I feel like this kind of process of where I'm making it my own and I'm making it look like me, that always helps me quite a lot. I actually really am enjoying how this is coming along. It looks a bit more crafty than my other ones, but I'm quite enjoying that kind of vibe right now. Okay, I did have one idea though of using this silver sticker that I had gotten from Present and Correct, and I definitely need to get a few more of them because they're really, really cool. This one that you can see here. So what I would want to do is like cut this in half and put like, well, I'm gonna show you, I guess. I don't want to cut it in a perfect half circle, but just like approximately. I mean, like, so that approximately so that the other half is bigger than the other half. Like so. And then I want to use like one half to put on here and like one half on the other side. I'm really not sure what I want to do, or even if I want to have it like peeking out. I don't know. Or do I want to have it on the other side of this? Oh, that might be cool. Like on both sides of the white strip, that might be pretty cool. Maybe I can have it on this side and then this one on the other side. Oh, now I don't know. Or it might even be cool to like put it on the spine. So many options. Actually, I'm gonna put down the like stick down this sticker first. Okay. And then something I want to do on the sides here is I want to outline it in black because I feel like this clashes a bit with this color, but if there's a black outline, I think that's going to be helpful. Okay. I think that looks a bit more, I mean, I don't know if you can really see the difference on camera, but it really looks just a bit more unified. Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Cool. So now I'm trying to think, how did I want these stickers to be placed? What I was thinking is that I could put this like behind here. Oh, I think that could be cool. Although, does it fit with this? Well, we're gonna go with it, I think. As you can see, this is how I just play with my cover. Actually, I really like how that looks. Okay, and then I want to put this on the other side here. Oh, actually, I'm going to run it over the spine. Yeah, I like that a lot. I really like that. Oh, okay. It's always a bit nerve-wracking because I'm just going with like my creative flow, so I really don't know what I'm truly doing. But I quite like that. Okay. Whew. So now all that's left to do is make the other side and then also write Hobonichi Techo here. However, both of those things I'm going to do off, excuse me, both of those things I'm going to do off camera because they are really, well, this side, now you know how I do it. I'm going to just basically combine these scraps as well as some of this paper. Usually you'd never see this side of my book because it's lodged into my cover, but I do want to have it like covered also for like when I archive this book later, it's not going to be in a cover anymore. So I do want to do that on the other side as well. But I'm going to do that off camera, but I will show you the final result alongside with how I did the writing here. But this writing especially is slightly nerve-wracking, so I'm going to also do that off camera. Okay, so I will talk to you in a bit. Okay, here it is. I have just now completed the cover of the book, and I really, really, really enjoyed doing that. Um, this is how it looks like. So I have added the Hobonichi Techo um, characters. I have this time around put January to June 2025. Um, I haven't had that previously, but I am going to be adding it into the labels of my last two books that have this kind of a cover. I will be putting the month that the book took place in, as well as the year. I'm going to show that in the next video because I'm slightly running out of time today. I'm going to go meet my friend at the train station in just a little bit. So I'm going to show that in the next video. And then on this side, out of just kind of spontaneously, I just wrote the common book. Like I've mentioned in the past few videos when I've been talking about my Hobonichi weeks, that is kind of my second brain. And this book will be kind of all the archives, all the logbooks. It's the common book for all of me, and it's also the place where I'll be kind of keeping close eye on my body and how my health is going. So, or kind of keeping on top of my health and my body, mental health and physical health. And on the other side, it's a bit more crafty, so it looks like this. Once again, I added in the January to June just to kind of add a bit of text here. I might add some more text perhaps somewhere else as well. Maybe just some reflections on, how this book, how it was to finish this book, basically. So that's going to be added some text maybe in the next 6 months. Um, in June time, I guess, maybe. I would like to do that also in my other books, where at the back of the book there's kind of like a blurb. You know how normal books have a little bit of a blurb often at the back about what the book is about. I kind of want to have that here as well. This is how it came out, and I really, really, really like it a lot. Um, this is how it looks on the inside, so you can see that tape there. Same thing on the other side. This is a bit more messy because I don't really mind how it looks like on the back. But I'm in love with how this book came out. I'm so excited. I just used a pencil to first draw in the characters because they're a bit difficult to get right on the first time, and then I used this brush sign pen. I forgot the company, but I have one more of these as well. They're basically like the really basic brush pens that you can find at a lot of different art stores. So yeah, use one of them to make these characters. Initially, I was going to make them with a really thin zero point 0.1 pen, but I found like when I started doing it, I was like, oh, this is actually too thin. It's going to get kind of lost in the otherwise quite bold design of the cover. So yeah, I decided to do it with this brush pen. I'm losing my words. I decided to do it with this brush pen. I'm getting so excited that I'm like jumping into the next word before the previous one was even finished. But yeah, here we go. Welcome, 2025, January to June, Avec. I am so excited. Yes, in the next video, we'll be setting up the inside as well as kind of starting to set up a few of the um, kind of layouts that I have in mind. And then the final video will come at the very end of December, where we will be changing over the plastic cover for this book as well as the actual cover, and we'll make a little bit of a ritual out of it. Is that what it's called? Ceremony, more so? Yeah. So I'm looking forward to see you in those next videos. Yeah, until then, thank you for keeping me company while I was doing this, and talk to you very soon. Bye bye.